So we didn't get the announcement of the women tag team titles at Evolution like everybody thought was going to happen. But the women's tag team titles are still a possibility. So there's a sign that apparently WWE executives are handing out to fans at live shows. And it just says, we want women's tag team championships. So obviously this would be a way for Stephanie McMahon to say, we're listening to our audience and give them what they want. That we will see a women's tag team championship on WWE programming. So shoot or work, women's tag team titles, still a possibility.
I'm going to say shoot. I mean, why not? I mean, we've seen it more and more now that the women are going out there and competing, and not only are they competing, but they're having good, legitimate wrestling matches. And now they've had their own pay-per-view, which was well received. The only downside to that, obviously, is it's more titles, so that means more writing and more of an investment that you have to make in certain characters. But
do you have it cross-brand though?
Cross-brand?
I think if this is going to work, you have to make it cross-brand.
Yeah, because there's just not enough time on the show. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers and there's a limited amount of time.
And they have a lot of women tag teams right now that they're writing together.
Yeah, Asuka.
You have Asuka and Naomi.
Yep.
You have the Iconics. You have Sasha and Banks. You have
Sasha and Bailey.
Maybe Nia Jackson, Tamina might be something soon.
Yep.
They have so much, and I'm sure there's some NXT call-ups that they could put together. You have the two other members of the Four Horsewomen, Shafir and Jessamine Duke. So that could be a tag team. Obviously, they're still new to NXT, so you won't see them for a while. But I could definitely see this. What I would love for WWE to do, though, between now and when they go to Fox for SmackDown, they got to put all the women on one show. And I would like them to be on Raw. Raw needs something for that third hour. And I think the women could have enough storylines, especially if you have a women's tag team division and you unify the women championships, have them all on Raw. And you could fill an hour with just them. You could. I would love to see it. So I'm going to say shoot. The women's tag team division and tag team titles are still a possibility. And we might see it at WrestleMania because our last rumor of the night has to do with two people that returned this week in WWE, Trish Stratus and Lita. Now, we saw them open the show at Evolution. They look pretty good for the time off that they had. Had a decent match with Alicia Fox and Mickie James for what it's worth. And for now, they're going to be off TV, but there's talks about them coming back in 2019. In fact, they might be around till WrestleMania 35 and have a big match for WrestleMania 35. Shoot or work, Trish and Lita, we see them in a match at WrestleMania 35.
I'm going to say shoot. Why not? You know, WrestleMania, WWE has notoriously brought back older talent to be featured at WrestleMania. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we've seen them do it with The Rock, and Hogan's been back, and all these other guys in between. So Trish and Lita, they looked pretty decent in their match. It wasn't the best, but it was still good. So as long as they could still compete, there's still a draw, the fans are into it, sure, why not?
I agree. This is definitely a shoot. I'm going to one-up this. I'm going to combine two shoot or works this week. I'm going to say that Trish and Lita are going to be the ones in the women's tag team title match at WrestleMania, in the inaugural match to decide who are the women tag team champions. I don't think they're going to win it, and whoever does will be those champions. Do you make it Sasha and Bailey? Do you make it Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, the match that we should have had at Evolution? Mickie James has already beaten Trish Stratus once at WrestleMania. I don't understand why they never brought that up in this storyline. Not once. And Mickie James retired Lita, if I'm not mistaken. Why was that not brought up? I don't understand, but I would love to see Trish and Lita one more time. I think they still have something. Trish looks really good, to be honest with you. So I'm going to say shoot as well. And it will be for the women's tag team championships.
If you like this segment of the Squared Circle Psychobabble, listen to the full episode by clicking the link in the description below. And make sure you subscribe and review on your favorite podcast provider. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications for more videos. And follow us all over social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SCPB Podcast.